Oh, how do you do today? We are, as we record this, approximately 1 hour away from the fall equinox. So happy fall to all of you. This is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World with my colleague Jimmie Tramel, also of the Tulsa World. We cover all the stuff that you find in the scene section, available at wherever fine newspapers are sold, and also at tulsaworld.com. We're here to talk about what is coming up in this weekend for you for your reading and dining and dancing pleasure. And I believe, speaking of dancing, we have music to start with from you, Jimmie.
We do have music. I mean, a real guitar hero, guitar legend, Carlos Santana, is coming to River Spirit soon. And I've had an interview with Carlos Santana in the bank for a long time, but you don't want to run it so far in advance that it's too far removed from the show. So we're going to run that, I believe, in Friday's paper. And just to get Carlos Santana, it's almost like the I'm not worthy thing on Wayne's World. You'd wonder, what can I ask Carlos Santana that's worthy of being a legitimate question? And here's a guy that played at Woodstock, my gosh, and he's still out here touring. But just to get him started off on a different note than maybe he's heard before, we talked about Roy Clark, who, as it turns out, was an admirer of Carlos Santana, and the feeling is mutual. Carlos Santana admires the late, great Roy Clark.
I remember I did an interview with him a long, long time ago. And one of the things that's always stuck out with me is the tone he gets from his guitar has always been described as a singing tone. It's almost like a voice, the way he plays with notes. And I asked him about that, and he said, it's kind of funny, but Burt Bacharach and Dionne Warwick inspired his tone. He said what he would do is he would try to match her vocals singing Burt Bacharach songs in order to come up with that singing type of tone. So
that was a quality question. That was
when you're when you're that far along on things, it's he's done some amazing things, and his stuff has always been fascinating. So, but what we've got coming up this Sunday is let me ask you a question. Do you believe in psychic phenomenon?
Do I believe in psychic phenomenon?
Right.
I can predict my wife is going to Target this weekend. Does that count? And the weekend after, and the weekend after?
Well, we've got an interview with a local author, Jenny Myers-Sane. She is part of a kind of a Oklahoma writing dynasty. Her mother has won numerous Oklahoma Book Awards for her young adult novels, and her brother was poet laureate of the state for a while. She's come out with her first novel called Dark and Shallow Lies. And she said herself that she's not she's a skeptic about everything, but she happened to pass through a town in Florida that billed itself as the psychic capital of the world. And she thought, how could you keep a secret in a town full of psychics? And so that was the impetus for this book. It's a young adult novel, and it's a mystery and a thriller, and just been out a few weeks, and we've got an interview with her coming up. So that's something new to look for out at your local bookstore. Speaking of new, I think you have something old now. We'll work our way through the something old, something new.
Yeah, kind of back to music. Grady Nichols, who I'm sure you're familiar with, Tulsa saxophonist. Time flies, has had a 25-year career. And it's a busy year for him. He's got a concert with Bill Champlin from Chicago out at Church Studio coming up soon. And he's got basically 2 albums popping this year. One, a live album with some great originals and really cool cover versions of popular songs. And he's going to re-release his very first album from 1996, remastered. So we talked about all these projects and his 25-year career, but just to, I don't assume everyone is a fan of everything. So just to kind of rope in the fans of maybe saxophone or jazz, we start off with a Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner story at the top of the Grady Nichols story, just to try to hook some maybe additional Star Trek fans that may be.
Well, how can you go wrong with Shatner and Nimoy?
Yeah.
Well, on a slightly more serious note, we also are going to have an interview with a local artist named Andrea Martin. She has a show currently on display at the Tulsa Artists Coalition Gallery. Her day job is as a respiratory therapist, and she's been working quite literally on the front lines of the COVID pandemic here in Tulsa from the get-go. Her work is very interesting. It's deals with, as you might imagine, a lot of heavy and dark topics, but it's done in such a way that it's not oppressive. And she talks about her ideas about art and her thoughts on the importance of healing, both through the work you do and the art that you make. So that'll be coming up soon. We're also, if you are a fan of pizza, as most people are, there's a new place in Bixby, in downtown Bixby, called Brick Brothers Pizza. The people involved in it are also behind the fine dining restaurant Cardinal Club and Trey's Bar and Grill to South Tulsa, kind of upper end eateries. And this is a very affordable, very family friendly, very good brick oven pizza joint that we review this week. Do you have anything else that we can look forward to coming up or coming down the pike or wherever the pike?
A couple more music items. On Friday, we've got a story about Erin Coburn. She's 20 years old, but if you see her play, you'll swear she's been inhabited by the spirit of a 60-year-old blues musician. She turned pro at 12 and is playing Oklahoma for the first time Friday at Maggie's Music Box in Jinx. We've got an interview with her where she talks about how her best friends are guitars and chickens. Go figure. She used to sneak chickens into the house without her mom's knowledge when she was a kid because she loved chickens so much. And Mercy Me is starting a tour at the BOK Center soon. We've got an interview with the bassist, Nathan Cochran, who talks about Mercy Me, the blockbuster song I Can Only Imagine that spawned the movie, and his love of, oh, by the way, archery. So go figure.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of music, the Chamber Music Tulsa begins its season this coming weekend with the Poulenc Trio. One thing that they're doing differently this year is that their Sunday afternoon concerts, which they are being offered for free. You still need to reserve tickets, which you can do chambermusictulsa.org. But the trio has been here several times in the past. They're definitely worth listening to. And one thing that need to be advised of, they will be requesting you show proof of vaccination in order to attend the concert, which is something that we may all be needing to get used to more and more of as things go along, depending on what surges and what doesn't surge. So, well, that should wrap it up for what we've got coming this week. There's always
let's go one last plug. One last
thing. Okay.
If you're a fan of the Power Rangers, we had Jason David Frank in at stores in Oklahoma last weekend. 2 more Power Rangers are coming to Vintage Toy Mall's Minicon Saturday in Broken Arrow. It's different hours, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. inside and outside in the parking lot. There'll be some Power Ranger guests and other things at this Minicon at Vintage Toy Mall. Not the one in Jinx, the one in Broken Arrow on Saturday. So if you want to get out and about Saturday and enjoy what appears to be better weather, then there you go.
All right. And if you want to be out and about on Sunday, the Maple Ridge Garden Tour, 7 residences in one of Tulsa's most historic neighborhoods will be opening up their lawns for people to feel envious if they don't have a green thumb. But there will be cooking demonstrations at some of the locations, and each spot will have a vintage car on display. So if gardening doesn't get you, but gears do, then you'll take care of both of you that way. So, all right, well, that will do it for this autumnal equinox version of the Scene broadcast. Thank you all for putting up with us. On behalf of my colleague Jimmie Tramel and myself, we will gladly see you later.
Behave.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.